Before I get going, we're going to put this on my YouTube channel. So in case anybody wants to share it with somebody outside of the group, they can do that. So I am super excited to be bringing a guest in our conversation today in our awesome Facebook group for those of you that are broker owners and are part of it. Thank you for being part of it. Thanks for inviting your friends. We really are enjoying this collaborative group, helping each other as independents to grow our brokerages. And so as a promise to you guys, we talked about bringing people in that are experts in different areas, also different companies that can bring value to you as a brokerage, and just getting you introduced to people that we know that we think could bring you value. And Rachel Gombosch is one of those. I asked her how to say her last name and then I fumbled it. So Rachel and I got in contact a few months ago, and I was really blessed to be able to do to be on her podcast, as well as to do a webinar for her group. And then I asked her if she would come and share a little bit with you all. So super excited to have her here. We have about a 15-minute presentation, so keep watching, invite somebody. We'll go ahead and put Rachel's contact information also below this live stream in our Facebook group. And so today we're going to hear a little bit about how to establish a standout brand, both time and money saving strategies for independent brokerages like you all. This is really important, and team leaders. First of all, your brand as a team or a brokerage is so critical, and it's actually one of the things that you sell when you attract talent and when you retain people, and that they can go out and use to help them as well. It also is a way that you can continue to bring in business opportunities to the people that you're in partnership with. So this is obviously a very important topic. And when we can save time and money, we all want to listen, especially in a changing market. So I think this is a timely conversation. And thanks so much for being here, Rachel. I'm going to go ahead and let you just give a quick introduction to yourself and your company, also your podcast, because everybody here should be listening to it. And I'll go ahead and put a link to that as well below here, you guys. And then we'll get right into the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cari, for having me. We've always have a blast together. So this is just so fun to be able to get back together and to speak to your audience. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. So yeah, we are talking all things branding, which I love. It's a topic that I just love speaking on. But first I'll introduce myself. So my name is Rachel Gombosch. I am the community and content marketing manager at Virtuance. And we are a real estate photography and visual marketing company. I'll touch a little more on our details later on in our presentation, because you'll actually find, I think we've got some awesome strategies for you to also help build out your brand that are both time and cost effective. So we'll get into our specific company a little more, but know that our bread and butter is photography, but we also provide a lot of other visual solutions, such as the 3D tours, the floor plans. We provide a marketing suite delivered anytime you order listing photos from us, to help you track and generate your leads and to help you with all of your social channels and everything. So there's a lot of things that I could touch on with just our company alone, but I want to get into this presentation just because I am so excited for it. Like I said, I love talking about branding and your business branding and your personal branding, whatever that looks like for you. So I want to open up with just a question for you all. And I also want this to be interactive. So if any questions pop up, please let me know, just stop me, because I'll get on a roll and I'll probably miss one. But if any questions pop up, please let me know. I'm happy to answer those throughout this. So I want to open it up with a question for all of you as far as, why should you build a strong business brand? Why is it so important? So I think this somewhat seems like an obvious question, but at the same time, it's not, right? If you don't know what branding is and you don't know the depth of branding, this can be a really difficult question to answer as far as why you should actually create it. But ultimately, I want to make it super simple. Your brand is your foundation, right? And just like a house, if you want your house to stand sturdy through unexpected times or even expected times, you need to build out a really strong foundation, and that starts with your business brand. So I want to talk about this problem that people face when they talk about their branding, right? And I think the biggest issue ultimately that people face is they're not digging deep enough. We think of branding, I think the immediate thought process that goes through our mind is, this is just a logo and it's some pretty colors and it's the name of our company. That is not enough. There is so much more that needs to go into your branding to really establish yourself as that standout business. It's not just your logo. Your brand is actually your business identity, right? So this is how people are going to connect with you. Think of your brand as the experience that your brokerage provides, that your team provides, the ease that you can give your clients, the consistency throughout all of the listings you provide, and more, and on and on and on. But all of this plays into this concept that we know as your brand, as your business brand, even as your personal brand as well. So the goal today is to really lay out and put forth those efforts to help you establish that strong brand and to help you dig a little bit deeper when you think about developing and identifying a standout brand. So the first thing I really want to touch on is actually just framing up your business core. There are, as I mentioned, there's so many things that go into your branding. So I've tried to break it down into just 4 really strong key pieces. So the first one is framing the core of your business. So you've probably heard it a million bajillion times, but it's extremely important to understand the why behind what you're doing and laying out all of the details that go into your brand, who you strive to be, who are you serving? These are the questions you need to be able to answer. So within the real estate space, ask yourself, what purpose do you and your business serve? Who specifically do you serve? Obviously, the goal here is to sell real estate, right? But why exactly is it so important for you and your business to be selling real estate? And these are the questions you want to start asking yourself to really build out that business foundation and that brand foundation for yourself. I think someone who puts this so beautifully and like eloquently, if you've ever seen it, Simon Sinek has a wonderful TED Talk called How Great Leaders Inspire Action. And ultimately, the core of it is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And your brand is the why behind why you're selling real estate, why you're in the real estate industry. So in order to effectively scale to build out your brand, I think there's 3 key components to building that framework of your core. We've heard it, we know your vision statement, right? So think of your vision statement as that more vague, aspirational statement that's intended to give your company direction and guidance. Then that's followed up by your mission statement. This should answer questions like, what do we do? Whom do we serve? How do we serve them, right? So that's what your mission statement is. So for example, for Virtuance, our mission statement is, our mission is to offer the world's premier real estate marketing solution. So it's answering those questions. What do we do? Who do we serve? Why do we serve them? And then finally, which I think this is truthfully one of the biggest pieces to framing your core and that business brand core, is what are the values that you are living by in your business? Value statements are intended to guide your business operations, right? And how your team should conduct themselves. Have those values in place, because on every single effort, on every single action that you have, you're going to look back on those values and even your vision statement and even your mission statement to really see if a certain effort is in alignment with your brand. And ultimately, when we talk about saving time and saving money, this is where the time aspect really comes into play. Because if you have that framework built out from the beginning, you don't have to start thinking super in depth on a lot of these different issues that come forth, right? You already know your brand, you know the values, you know what your business lives by. And by having that framework set in place, it makes decision-making a lot easier and faster as well. So you're not muddling on a lot of different topics because you already know exactly who you are and what your business does. So your core framework, again, is the framework of your business. And think of it as this like beacon of light, right? That guides you when you're making key business decisions. So if you know that framework of your business and you know how you want to conduct it, like I said, making decisions are going to be easier and likely faster. So the second component to this is positioning your brand, right? I think this is one of those, this second piece and the third piece that we'll follow up with, I think are now more important now than ever. So you have that core framework set in place. You have that guidance map set in place, and it's time to position yourself within the industry. What does that look like? There's going to be some research that involves, and I think you'll find with a lot of these strategies, time-saving strategies and money-saving strategies, they go very much hand in hand. And I would say a lot of the times you'll notice they're very almost indirectly related, right? To save time, sometimes you need to invest. If you're going to invest in something, a lot of times that saves you time. So think of it this way, that as Cari would put it, it's an integration within your business. It's not a balance. It's not always balanced, but it's an integration of one within the other. So the first part of the research, when we think about positioning your brand, you need to know your competitors, and not just know who they are, you need to know exactly how they operate. So you're in a massive industry, massive. So there's a ton of competition, not only just nationwide, but even in all of your individual markets. And as a brokerage or a brokerage owner, that can be really difficult to make yourself stand out. I want to give you some key components on how you can actually figure out what that looks like. But you need to ultimately identify your direct competition within your service area. And once you've identified your competitors, you need to make sure that you take the time to actually study their business traits, study how they market themselves, study how they connect with clients, what is drawing clients over to them. And by using that research study on your competitors, you can then start to really focus on the value you provide, which is the second component to positioning your brand. So you know the competitors, what makes you valuable against them, right? Because the goal is here to stand out. So what makes you different or unique? So ask yourself, how are people going to win, right? How are they going to win when they use our services at our brokerages throughout that next real estate transaction? What value are they gaining? Try to stay away from, oh, well, they just save more money by using us, or, oh, they will just sell faster. And I say that because everyone is using it, right? You can't stand out if you're doing the exact same thing as everyone else. So unless you've got proven statistics to back up general facts like that, you want to find something really unique that makes you stand out. And again, this is kind of difficult, and this will take some time and really thinking through what makes you stand out. But I'm telling you right now, it will save you so much time in the long run when you're trying to market yourself. So for instance, at Virtuance, we know for a fact that our images are proven to receive 2 times double the clicks than any other professional images by any other professional photographer. We know that. We've done the research. We've done an eye tracking study. We can back that fact up, right? Those are the types of pieces of information and value that you want to be able to provide to your group, to your audience, to your clientele. That's different from those general facts that everyone wants to just easily run to. So additionally, I think a good question to kind of follow that up with is, what consequences maybe are your target audience, what do they experience by not using your services, right? That really plays into that competitor research. And a good fact I want to touch on with that, something really easy, it will cost you no money to do this. Go onto the brokerage accounts, the Google accounts for different brokerages in your service area. So research them. Say, hey, ABC brokerage in Utah, right? So you search them. Now go to their reviews and scroll down to all of their 1- and 2-star reviews and see why people are so upset with them. And now to position yourself and to understand how you can bring that unique value, you're going to solve the problem that they said publicly on your competitor's website, right? That is such an easy way to position yourself against your competitors in your service area. Find out what they're doing wrong and fix it, because that's what people want. So this really plays into, again, understanding the brand positioning. So I want to talk about some other questions real quick, or just go through a list of other questions to help you position yourself within the brand and how you can position yourself within the industry. So call on your personal experiences, right? What is something maybe you experienced in a real estate transaction that you want to fix? That's a perfect way to position yourself, right? Because that's a problem that you're going to provide a solution to that likely many other people are experiencing the exact same thing, right? You're not the only one. On that note, flip it to the other side, where have your friends, where have other, maybe your coworkers, what experiences did they have that maybe you want to fix? So maybe they had a horrible real estate transaction that you can come in and be like, wow, I know exactly how to solve that problem. I'm going to market to people who are having that same terrible experience the first time that might be scared to approach the market again. Call on people's experiences, yours and others. And then finally, I think this is a really good one. You're in the real estate industry. You're in the market day in and day out. What broken links within the process are you noticing that you can fix, right? These are all things. The goal here is to be a solution to a problem, right? There are a lot of people who have struggles within the real estate industry, maybe even agents themselves. How can you help other agents and people to build out your team, right? So think about these problems that you ultimately want to fix. And all of this at the end of the day is going to play into developing that business or that elevator pitch, right? That 3-sentence, that 1 minute, hey, this is what I do. This is why I do it. This is why you should work with me, right? So that all plays into developing your pitch and positioning yourself within the industry because of the brand you have created. Now, this third piece I want to talk about, again, really important when it comes to marketing. I cannot emphasize this enough, to have a strong marketing plan already set in place. And I don't just mean, hey, we're just going to start using socials. That's not a marketing plan. I'm saying, what is the goal you want to achieve, and how are you going to achieve it, and how are you going to measure that success? A full document, right? So we're thinking, wait, that's not really time saving. In the long run, it is. It's a lot of effort up front to really think through and push that forward, right? To finish and complete that. But then when you start getting bombarded by all of these different agencies that are like, we'll do your marketing, we'll help you with this, or maybe someone you've got a bunch of freelancers reaching out to you, we'll be your social media manager. If what they are offering you is not in alignment with your marketing strategy, then you know exactly it's a definite no. You don't even have to think twice about it, right? So think of it that way. It's work up front that's going to save you down the line. So marketing strategies, marketing your brand, understanding which efforts work well for you. Essentially, how do we create one, right? How do we create a marketing strategy? So this doesn't mean when you do have a strategy in place, I want to make this as like a caveat that it's set in stone, right? With marketing, and I know this because I work in marketing, right? It is fluid. It is changing. There are trends. There's things that impacting. You find things that don't work. It's constantly moving. So keep that in mind when you develop it. Just develop a framework of a marketing strategy. So ask yourself questions like, in my existing marketing efforts, like are you using social? Are you doing listing brochures? Whatever you're adding that lead into the marketing of your business. What is currently actually working well for me versus what am I doing just to stay with current trends, right? Your marketing should work for you. And if it doesn't, you shouldn't be doing it. So that's actually an easy way to cut back your time, is really evaluate all of the different efforts you're putting forward and hash out anything that is not working for your business. And it's as simple as that. Go back to metrics, go back to the data, see what's actually working for you in your business. Another question that you can ask yourself to develop your strategy is, what efforts do I need to improve or add to my overall marketing strategy to help me grow? If I stay where I'm at, I'm not going to grow. So what do I need to put in place to get me to where I want to be in the future? How much can I afford to invest in marketing efforts? Marketing doesn't have to be super expensive, right? You can start with basic things. Social media channels are all free to use, right? Unless you want to use paid ads. But if you're going to adapt those different paid efforts or invest in something, how much is appropriate for your business to make an impact and a punch without compromising, right, the financial stability of your business? And then how can my marketing efforts be standout compared to what my competition is doing? I think this goes back on see what your competitors are doing wrong, and then market and target those people who are complaining about the other brokerages or area or other competitors in your market, right? Be very specific and be very intentional when it comes to your marketing. Other questions you can ask, or what marketing effort, or other questions that you can ask when you're wanting to scale and you can then focus your marketing on, is what are the hot real estate markets I want to target to, and then start focusing your market into those areas if you plan on expanding, right? And then how are you going to target those markets? Are you going to use printed materials? Are you going to use email? Are you going to use paid ads? What are those different channels of marketing that are going to move the needle? And all of this comes down to the final point of using the right tools. Cannot also emphasize this enough. So there are literally thousands of phenomenal tools out there that are going to help you in this whole action plan when it comes to building a standout brand, but also in just your business in general, right? We know there's CRM tools, but there's design and marketing tools. There's financial tools. You can hire virtual assistants, right? There are so many different resources out there to help you save time that, again, might require some investment, might require some money, but by investing that up front, you're going to think of if you hired a virtual assistant to take off all of the administrative work that you're currently working on, how much time is that going to open up for you? My odds are, if you're doing a lot of your admin work, it will very much open up your schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
To then do the things that are going to move the needle for your business. So I think that brings up kind of the main point of using tools that I want to drive home. Tools are only going to help you if you know how to use them and they're actually filling a gap within your business. And so what I mean by that is if you are pushing and plugging and I'm doing all of the Facebook posts and you are seeing no return on it, why are you investing in that channel? Or for instance, if maybe you've outsourced a designer, right? But you also have Canva in your marketing plan.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not using Canva and it's not solving an issue for your business, then don't invest in that. Don't continue to pay for those services, right? So really ask yourself, because again, I think this plays into highly with just, we want to hop on the bandwagon, right? We see something new and shiny and let's do it. This is going to help my business. Let's do it. Go back to the core of go back to your business core, go back to how you want to position yourself, go back to your marketing strategy and evaluate which tools are actually going to be useful for you. Even in the sense too, like I said, I could talk about the tools that you could use forever, but there's some really awesome, if you have a blog, right? If you're anything like me, writing things up takes forever and a half. But ultimately, there are tools out there that are AI generated tools that can literally generate a blog post for you in 2 minutes. 2 minutes versus like the 3 hours I would spend on it, right?
Yeah.
So think about where you need to fill gaps in your business so that you can appropriately assign the right tools and resources to help you save your time in the long run. So I'm wrapping up here, but I do want to just end off with we have a guided workbook that I think is just going to be really helpful for you guys. So I did a longer presentation on scaling your business, where this portion that I got to share with you today was a shorter piece of it, and a little more in depth. And so I wanted to share this guidebook with you guys, which Cari, we can, I think, send in the comments, right?
Yep.
It's a free download, but basically it walks you through all these questions that we talked about today, as far as like how to scale your team, how to scale your strategies, how to scale your implementation efforts, how to scale your financial backing. So we'll share a link for that, but you can also download it in off of virtuance.com. We have a resources tab where we provide a ton of free marketing resources for you guys. So real quick, as we begin to wrap up, I just want to talk about how we can actually help you in your branding efforts and in your business efforts in general. So as I mentioned, we're a real estate photography and visual marketing company. We're devoted to offering the world's premier real estate visual marketing solutions. We know marketing is huge in real estate, so we love where we're at. We love what we do. But not only do we provide like the visual pieces, so our HD reel images, aerial videos and photos, and every other piece, the 3D tours, right? All these different virtual solutions, but we also provide you the resources to help support your marketing. And what that looks like is we actually developed what's called the Virtuance Marketing Suite. So as I kind of touched on before, it's an entire all-in-one marketing platform that is delivered to you with all of your listing images. So you order an image, when they're delivered, you get the whole marketing suite for free. It's not an added cost or anything. We just include it with it. So our marketing suite is just really cool because it helps you generate leads. It helps you go back to the data, as I had mentioned earlier, to really see what listings are standing out. It pulls all the leads for you who are interested in. You can create branded listing websites, which is awesome because we're talking about branding. And this is where the nice colors and the logos and everything comes into play. But you can create individual branded listing websites for each of your listings. And also there's opportunities to share your listings socially through this platform. So really awesome tool. But then additionally, with just our photos themselves, we can also help you with consistency, which I think as a team lead is really important for your brand. We all know you've got different agents. A lot of times they're doing their own marketing strategies and materials. So think about how you can bring together the marketing value and the marketing consistency so that if you've got 5 agents under you, everyone's kind of marketing the same, right? So our images, we can actually help you with the consistency element of that. Basically, all of our photographers nationwide are all trained and vetted in the exact same way. So basically, if John shoots listing A and then Annie shoots listing B, the images you get are going to all have cohesion. You're going to think the same exact person took and edited those photos. And that's thanks to our HD Reel system, which is really awesome, because that goes through and that does all of the different visual adjustments that are needed to make that photo exactly what people want to look at.
Yeah.
So we can help you stay consistent with that. And additionally, we can also help you reduce your administrative times. Because if you're anything like me, I hate making appointments. I will avoid making all of my doctor's appointments till the last run, but actually we allow 24/7 online scheduling. So you can go on our website, schedule at any point during the day, and then within 1 to 3 business days, we will get your shoot scheduled.
Awesome.
Which is really awesome. And also for a fast turnaround time, because we know how the real estate market works.
Yes.
So I just wanted to touch on that and how we can assist you, but I also want to open up if anyone's got any questions for me on branding. I know we're kind of pushing time now, but I just wanted to open that up if anyone had anything. Would love to.
Yeah, so I'm looking right now. I have people watching. I don't have any questions showing up. I did have one question. Do you have a particular AI tool that you use for blogging, or do you ever recommend any?
Yeah, so we actually use one of the tools that we use to assist us. And what's nice is a lot of these tools are just general like AI writing tools. So I personally use them to also help our with our social posts, right? So a great AI tool is called Jasper.ai, or there's Copy.ai. And what's phenomenal is a lot of these have like free trials, so you can test them out and see what works for you. But I would say Jasper and Copy.ai are two of the bigger ones that are really nice and efficient to use. One tidbit I will say when it comes to blogging or any type of writing, if you're going to use an AI assisted writing tool, you want to review it, obviously, right? So a lot of times they generate really great content, but you also want it to sound like yourself. So make sure you take the time to go through and edit it and make sure it has your tone of voice and the brand identity that you want associated with that particular piece.
Absolutely. Good. Yeah. Good point. It's like, get the heavy lifting done, then go back and take your 15, 20 minutes to edit it. And that's much less time than if you would have had to start from scratch.
Exactly. Because I mean, for me, even if anything, like I said, it takes a lot of the thinking out, where I'll sit there and I'll edit the same sentence 500 times, where now I just have it will generate everything for me. And then I go through and edit, which is so much easier, so much more streamlined. Really awesome tools.
That's awesome. So did you mention this? I don't think that you did. I was taking some notes, but as we have broker owners here who have agents in their brokerage, if they wanted to learn a little bit more about how Virtuance could help them and all of the agents, is there kind of broker packages? You don't have to give the details, but does that exist? Or is it individual for every agent?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do actually tailor also to brokerage owners, which is really great. I will drop that there may be, wink, a Black Friday sale on all of our volume plans. And essentially what that does is you can pre-purchase pretty much an entire pack of Virtuance shoots and you can distribute them out to your agents, which is
awesome.
Really so our volume plans are the perfect thing for your brokerage, right? And especially if you're trying to get your agents on board with that cohesion and that type of photography, because a lot of times your agents will have individual photographers for themselves. But that's where, again, our administrative time, we also have consolidated billing, which is really nice also for brokerage owners when you've got multiple and properties. So we can actually consolidate all of your billing for you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that's very, very helpful. Because again, when you guys are building your value proposition, part of it is what do you have that you're offering? If you can get tools in front of agents and make it easy and kind of set it and forget it, that's a big part of your value proposition. Shared resources. It doesn't mean that you pay for everything. It's that you get the best things available to them and then help make it either more affordable or just easier to access, even if they're paying for it, which they should be. It's about making it more simple because look, there are, of course, the photos, the watermarking, the social media, the YouTube, all of that, marketing brochures, things that maybe right now you're trying to figure out how staff members do this. And maybe it's not even necessary to have certain people doing things if you could get the right tools, listing websites, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's worth looking into. I always say to people, like, we automatically think of leverage in one way, but sometimes leverage is just partnerships and solutions that we can offer to people. And it could help us to save time and money and create a greater value proposition. And so I think it's a great time of year to be reassessing all of the solutions, all of the value propositions, and your finances and the time that you're spending on things for your agents as a broker owner. This is just a great time to do that, which is why I think it's a great time to look at some new resources and just see what might be best for you in your brokerage. So thank you so much for this, Rachel. You always bring great energy, great information. You gave us some things to think about in our personal branding. It's a perfect time of year. You guys should be thinking about those questions that Rachel gave to us in your business planning, and make sure that you're optimizing your brand and doing what you need to be doing and thinking about it correctly in the new year. And I will go ahead and drop all the information. Virtuance.com is the main place that you can go and get under resources to get any of the guides and the guide that Rachel shared. But I'll make sure that I post this all below as well. And if they want to get in touch with you, Rachel, do they need to get in touch with you, or can they go directly to virtuance.com, or should I also put your email address in the comments?
Yeah, so feel free to you can put my email address in as well in the comments. So it's just rachel.gombosch, GOMBOSCH @virtuance.com. And I'm happy to help direct you to the appropriate resource that you need. So if you're ready to book, if you just want to book online, book the next listing maybe, or just check us out, you can do all of that online. But if you're looking maybe for more information on our brokerage packages and what we can offer to you as a brokerage, feel free to email me and I can shoot you over and connect you with our sales team as well.
Awesome. So I will get all of that posted right as we log off here in our Facebook group. Thanks for all of you that watched live and that are going to watch later. And Rachel, thank you so much for your time today. Have a great holiday season. It was awesome to see you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it again. Thank you all for having me. And yes, everyone have a fantastic holiday season.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye, guys.
Bye.